Aubade. Can you hear dawn edging close? Hear soft light with its vacuum fingertips, gripping the bedroom wall? An understated, what? Exhilaration? Can you hear the voices, if they can be called voices, of towies, scratching in the garden, and then the creaky, low, husky voice flecked with sleep beside you in bed, telling a dream slowly as though in real time. And now, interrupting that dream, can you make out the voice, if it can be called a voice, of absence speaking intimately to you, directly? I know you must hear it feelingly, a low vibration in your bones, for don't you find yourself absorbed in a next moment beyond your given life? Unto ourselves. Even when we realized we'd stopped, in every essential way stopped moving forward, when we came to see we were descending, even more tightly bound to the vortex, as images rushed by in front of us and a blue whale rotted on the sand in Bolinas, its stink drifting southward, where dozens of barnacled 40-foot grays, dead from starvation, began to hulk against the shore, the white tufted foreheads of waves smashing against those knolls of oily, decomposing flesh. It was everywhere we looked, if we cared to look, out over the bite-sized squares of cheese and Saintsbury wine, into the hum taking place under a coved moon, or cared to listen to clumped wild rye shushing the dunes, while pulverized rock shrieked along fault lines in decibels so muted only the soles of our feet, conducting the ground's sound up into our tali, could register what was happening. Right there, where our lives had been, cut off from themselves and become something else, drained of substance, steeped into privilege, against which we protested with those we called our friends, the ones who lately seemed to contract backward from our greetings, giving us to suspect that they too sent something askew, the skip at the center of ourselves, or just an inkling of abyssal unhappiness, was it, concentrated into the early evenings, like one of those spectral white fallow deer introduced to the headlands that began to outcompete native species, and so, before they were slaughtered every one by hired hunters, inciting arguments about what was native, if all systems are given to change. Maybe our ear twitches, maybe the deer's ear twitches, but we still can't quite make out in the dimness what we're looking at, can we? Nor is there interim from the tumult of incoming, the masticating chores, pings begging immediate response, the sheer overabundance of the present shame, which plugs up each minute and stands in now for whatever it meant to live oneself, before every gesture became performance, for an audience we imagine never to be finished with looking at us. And as for the budding out of being we'd called passion, or the sensual moments phrased into our gait when we were coming to feel something, when our shadows merged, not as romance, but the real consequence of our mutuality, with shadows of conifers along the steep ravine, and completely naked and without relief, the world parsed us into the inhuman, where rosette lichen surged across rocks lacking nothing that might be needed to answer for our existence. By now, some of us, outmaneuvered by the economy, were lying around Dolores Park like fallen fruit waiting to rot. Others found themselves receptive to a trivial, self-justifying kindness. What with coral belching up its algae, the constellations receding, the awakened tundra, how could we bear, we wondered to each other, even the weight of our own sorry initiatives? Life, someone countered, is pure, gratuitous magnitude. Just look, the light is there, grace itself. But it was already noon, and as we looked, the colors of the hills began to blanch, and all around us, in the field of the visible, we sensed, without speaking, duration's ebb.